Hey Gwenters, and welcome back for another episode of Gone Gwenting. Today we're going to cover the next aspect of Arena, that is how to play a game. Now, I know you've watched a lot of other gameplay and you'd probably like to see some specialized decks. Don't worry, we're going to get back to those. But today I really want to talk about some of the specifics of Arena gameplay that are different from your other gameplay that you'll do in regular matches or even seasonal matches. The reason for that is because you can do less anticipation. Right? I think there are several known meta decks that are out there right now that you probably see a lot of, or some general usages. I think like Harmony being a good one that's often used, or Traps and Scoia'tael, for example. I love Scoia'tael, so you've seen those videos, so you know other people might do those same kind of things. Arena, you don't have any of those same kind of certainties because people could have cards from any of the factions and mix it with any leader ability, right? So we're going to show you how you can use your own mixed cards to get the best points, but also what you can do to protect yourself against what your opponent may end up doing, right? So let's get in here, let's play a game. You'll see I haven't done any yet. That's because I was holding out to play with you guys. So let's jump in. So I think one thing to really think about here as you play Arena is to keep in mind what your best cards are and to try to get them into your hand. And if you can swing the first round, that's great, but really prep for the final third round, presuming that you get that far, right? So for me and this deck, I think Karathi Heat, which I just drew, and I think Great Oak are going to be my big ones. Now, remember, we talked about the benefits of Thrive. I really like these Drowners. I think Drowners get me some good push here, right? So I can move people off their row and I get Thrive. I'm not really a fan of Dryad's Caress right now. He does have Lockdown, so it is a Purify, but I'm not terribly worried about that. I don't have a lot of cards other than these Thrives that are going to mean a lot. So I'm going to get rid of Red Haze. I'm going to keep Haymay Scald. But you know, that Purify with this Dryad actually is a little bit meaningful. So we're going to keep that one, and then I think I'm not seeing any other poisons, so we're going to get rid of Mutated Hounds. Now, I don't love Nausicaa Brigade either, but that's the benefit of keeping this Haymay Scald. I get to draw a card and then discard a card. And we can see if we can get something that's a little bit more useful. Alright, so notably he played Harpy's Egg. If he has some way to kill it, then he can spawn that Harpy. If he has something that triggers Death Wish, he can get that Harpy as well. Harpy's Egg is a pretty good card. I could use Karathi Heatwave here and just banish it altogether. He's never going to get the Death Wish, but I think I'd rather save Karathi Heatwave, like I mentioned, for final round. Now, I don't have anything. You guys do know I did get a couple of cards that could give me some big damage, but I don't have any of those here. And I certainly don't want to use my leader ability to steal that Harpy's Egg. There's no point in that. So, no boost there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play this Haymay Scald. He's just such a good way to toss some cards around, right? So here, I don't love this Nausicaa Brigade. It's too dependent on my opponent having a boosted unit, so we're just going to get rid of that one. Now, notably, whenever you discard, that goes to the graveyard. So you're not just doing a mulligan, which is, again, that beginning part of your phase where you're exchanging cards. If you haven't played with Skellige, you might not be as familiar with that, so just keep that in mind. I like my Drowners. They can push people off that row. I mean, theoretically, I could use Birna here to get rid of this Dryad's Caress and this Dryad. I don't have anything with armor, and this boost and Purify is good, but not great. And I do have Kurt, who gives me another Purify. So I'm not feeling a strong inclination to doing that. So I think let's go ahead and use Birna. And we're going to get rid of 2 cards here. All right. So this Dryad Enchantress is still going to give me 5 points on the board, whereas Scoia'tael Neophyte's only going to be 4. And then it will give me Vitality with that boost. So I'm actually thinking we're not going to get, this is a 5-point play. This is actually a 6-point play with a Purify, so long as we have this Dryad out. So I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of Imperial Enforcers and Scoia'tael Neophyte. I don't love either of those. So there we go. not a ton of points, but we got through several cards, so our deck is now thinner. And if you guys remember, we have some fantastic cards in here. I think Great Oak is phenomenal. I really actually like the Beast quite a lot with Great Oak. He gets a good play. Dwarf Berserker is who he just played. Oh no, sorry, that was one of ours. He's playing Barghest. He's going for the double too soon, and he's got the boost. I just don't think we're going to be able to chase this guy much here. Let's just look and think. Do we have anything that gives us armor? It's just that Berserker, right? So we really need to either mix that Berserker or this Endrega Larvae with this Dryad Enchantress. So I don't love our position here too much. Not a whole lot we can do. We can try to play multiple factions and then get out our tourney Shalimar. I'd prefer to use that in the final round. Again, our Enslaved here is only going to steal a unit of 3. So let's just get out a Drowner. Knock this guy down a peg. If he passes at only 7... So you might wonder, why didn't I pass? Couple of reasons. Number one being, if he passes, which he just did, I can play some cards that are mediocre at best and get a bunch of play out of them, right? So good examples here. We got to count this up, so we need to make 15 points up, right? So Dryad Enchantress is going to get me 5. Then this Dryad's Crest is going to get me 3. And presumably I would only get 2 turns out of it because I'll be down to 6 cards there. So it's going to get me 5 points as well. And then I can probably use Teruvial to knock out the rest. So we're not going to get any vitality out of Dryad Enchantress here, but we do get a monster, a Skellige unit out on the board, and we did get that Thrive from our Drowner, right? So let's actually get this Dryad's Caress out. Let's get the boost going. That's going to get him that pass. Now we just actually have to play a card that is going to get us 5 points, and this Haymace Scald is going to get boosted by 1. And if it gets this boost to this other Drowner, that's going to work out for us as well. Alternatively, we could play this other Drowner and do 2 damage, which would be a 4-point net play, but doesn't trigger a Thrive, so it's not going to quite be enough. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually play Teruvial to front row. I think she's a better card. I'm trying to decide. We don't have any poison. We don't have any crimes, really. So I actually think Kurt might be better, but he is Syndicate. We have Shalimar, so I think we'll actually do Teruvial. Some people are going to disagree with that. Go ahead, write that in the comments. Let me know what you think. We overplayed a bit here, but we are down to 4 cards. We won the first round, and that to me is important because I have found my greatest success in the game, all else being held equal, when I am on what is called red coin, which is when you are the responding party, right? When you're second to go, you can do a lot more things than when you're first to go. All right, I don't love this Forbidden Magic spell. There's no guarantee that he's gonna have something too. It'd be better for me to benefit from these Thrives. So we're gonna put that back down. I mean, these dogs will give me bleed. So to decide whether I want dogs or red haze more. We already have someone from Syndicate, so let's get rid of that. All right, now we do have Nilfgaard, we have Neutral, we have Syndicate, we have Monster. So that's all going to benefit this tourney Shalimar. And I'm thinking he's probably going to be our final play if Leo Bonart is not already our final play. So we're going to pass. We're going to let him go. He still has his leader ability, and candidly, I think Imposter is actually better than Enslave. I know some people might disagree with that. But the ability to lock a unit, spawn a copy of it, and boost it by 2 is basically Enslave, but maybe at a slight point discount, right? So, but the difference is that he's not restricted to a certain point unit that he can steal. I am. So he could actually lock my Drowner when it's boosted to 7 points. He'll get a 4-point copy of it, but he's not restricted to needing to get it before 7 points. So just something to keep in mind. All right, Immortal Cavalry is going to give me my Northern Realms. Berserker is going to give me my Scoia'tael, but so is Great Oak. Berserker is a fine card, but it's not a great card. I got Murderbrock for damage. Immortal Cavalry I actually like more. It's a 6-point play. I mean, Berserker theoretically would get you 7, but he's going to knock that down or lock it or do something else. We keep getting these mutated hounds. All right, Beast. Beast is much better. I like Beast a lot better. All right, so I think my play here is basically try to get this Drowner out as early as I can. Red Haze can put an end to some people being next to each other, so I might want to hold on to it for a little bit. Alright, so he's got Botchling. At the end of every turn, it's going to damage a unit by 1. So I think I'm actually going to get Immortal Cavalry out here. They both have shields, so when he does damage, it's not going to hurt me. Gets my Northern Realms characters out. And it doesn't feed him anything, right? Like if he locks and steals this unit, note that it's spawn a base copy of it, not play. So big downside for them compared to others is that they're going to that he's not going to be able to play this card. So he'd only get one of the 2 of these copied, and it does not get the shield necessarily. I'm actually not sure how that would work because the shield is not part of its deploy. It is native to the card. So I think he would still get a shield, but he'd only get 1 card. All right, so the question is what he wants to do with this Botchling. We have a couple of options here. I don't hate any of them. But something I'm keeping in mind is my leader ability, right? So this ability to seize is pretty awesome. There's a chance that he wants to turn this into a Lubberkin, in which case we can play Murderbrock and knock him back and get those points. I could play this Drowner right now, which will start triggering its Thrive, and it's going to knock him down to 5 points total where we can use Murderbrock later. So I'm thinking that's actually not a bad choice. Plus it gets us these 2 units on the same row, which might make him anxious about me playing like a trap, right? So I mean, here's the thing about Arena. I could have any card in his mind, right? So he could have any card in my mind. I have no idea what he's gonna do. I mean, look at this. Forbidden Magic. I got rid of that because I didn't think it was gonna be as useful. There's no guarantee that he's gonna play a 3-point card or a 4-point card, but or a 2-point card. Sorry, talking out the side of my mouth right now, but that is really working out for him. All right, so he used his Imposter ability on my Immortal Cavalry for reasons that are unknown to me. Yeah, I don't really understand why that happened. The only thing that I'm not sure of here, that lock somehow... oh, no, it's because this Botchling did do damage to me last turn. So he's going to try to get me knocked down, I think, so he can use this Kedwani on that Immortal Cavalry. The question is what we want to do about that, and I think the answer here is actually use this Kedwani to battle this Lubberkin, go back and forth, and kill it using Red Haze, right? So we're going to choose an enemy unit, then damage 1 adjacent enemy unit by its power. So we're going to just go ahead and kill that Kedwani Revenant using that Botchling. It's not dual, it's just damage. So not a whole lot there. He's probably laughing a little bit at us. But we got rid of that one. We have Murderbrock ready to go. And we're going to try to stack up as many units on one row as we can to use Great Oak. But next turn we can use Murderbrock to attack 2 of these guys and get to work. Alright, typically you see Forest Whispers played on melee row to give poison. He's playing shields for some reason. I don't know why. He might have King Ragnar, who boosts himself by 3 for every shield he removes. It's hard to guess. I'm honestly not superbly worried about it. I'd rather get his Botchling over on my side than worry about those shields. It's not going to give me any points, so we're just going to steal him, start doing random damage. Or we can alternatively, and I think this is actually the better play, we're going to change him over to a Lubberkin, which resets his base points, and at the end of every turn, he's going to boost one of my units by 1. So I don't have any boost beneficial cards here where like if something gets boosted, something else happens, but it does give me a good deal of flexibility. So now Big mistake in my opinion on his part. He used his leader ability to steal a card a little bit too early on. Even if that shield does benefit his King Ragnar, it wasn't a card of mine that was a big engine, right? So that Immortal Cavalry wasn't doing me any good other than existing on the board. So please pardon my son, he's just having a little bit of fun. So because I am worried about those shields though, so something notable that I can do, I'm just gonna flip this Lubberkin back over to a botchling. He's gonna do 1 random damage. There's a chance he hits this Forest Whisperer, in which case he loses a point. But there's a better chance that he hits one of these 2 units that have shields, knock those shields right off, right? So right now, I actually think I'm going to get out this Beast because this Forest Whisperer is going to go up to 7 points and we'll get that benefit. So we're just going to keep stacking up units on this front row. That way we can get preparation for Great Oak as our either final play or next to final play. We'll have to see. Maybe third to final play, depending on whether or not he plays a unit worth 9 points or not. Or a Witcher. I mean, the statistical likelihood of him playing a Witcher at this point in the round is pretty low in my opinion. At least one that's worth killing, so something we'll keep in mind. Alright, cool. He does not want to lose those shields. So glad we kept Kurt. Kurt we can play to our ranged row, and he is a great flexible card. He can either purify or lock a unit. So we are going to keep that Lubberkin on the attack. Sorry, it's now a botchling, not a Lubberkin. We're going to keep it a botchling, and we're going to let it keep attacking the enemy every turn. Hope to pull off some of those shields. Looks like we're not going to get that lucky, but we're just going to keep knocking it away. So the one thing I am thinking about here is my Tourney Shalimar. I want to be able to get from a different faction, right? So we do not need it to be Nilfgaard, but we do maybe want to get out this Great Oak. The question is when we want to get out the Great Oak versus Karathi Heatwave and Leo Bonart. But I do think this Turning Shalimar is going to be able to get us boosts on this Hound. But here I am talking, and he boosts his Forest Whisperer to 13 for reasons unknown. That is going to boost my Spectre, but if he's boosting a unit not behind a shield, that's because he wants to use it, in my opinion, for dominance. So I say we kill it. I don't want to give him a feed on dominance, so we're just going to knock it out. Our Hound is not going to get boosted, but I'm okay with that. This also reduces the number of targets, and we just can't get lucky on these shield removals. So if he has something that's going to get benefited from a lost shield, there's nothing we can do about that. For whatever reason, we just can't get the luck that way. All right, well, looks like he's spreading shields around 3 different ways right now. The question is what we want to do, and I actually think we can just play. We could play Great Oak for the points, but I actually think the Tourney Shalimar. Look, we lose 2 points if we play him now, but we could kill a bigger card that's not behind a shield, or alternatively, we could use Karathi Heatwave. But I think maybe because we have Karathi Heatwave, we can kill whatever big point thing he throws down. So no reason to do that. So we'll play this Great Oak, and then we're going to then boost self by the number of cards to the right of Great Oak. So we're going to go ahead and do that. He may have a Geralt to kill a 9+ point card like we just used with Leo Bonart, but that 12 points is going to feed the Beast for several rounds. So we're just going to keep it out there. Pray that we can at least keep 1 round on the board. That way we can get out this Tourney Shalimar, and then we're going to drop down our Karathi Heatwave. So another thing you're going to notice, it can be kind of tough to get the perfect play, as it were, just because you don't have as much synergy as you would in a normal deck, right? So think about that Northern Realms deck I put out last week that a lot of people are really digging, right? I mean, it's gotten a few people up to rank 3 from rank 10. It got me into pro rank. It's a lot of fun to play with, but there's some great synergy with those cards. Here, we don't have as much synergy. The only exception I'd say is this Tourney Shalimar, which is his synergy is basically dis-synergy, right? Like the more people we have from different places, the better we are. Again, though, I think here we can knock out an 18-point play because Marguerite is going to go up to 18. He could have dominance. He could be stealing shields. I don't know. We're just going to get rid of her. And I think that is pretty much going to lock us in. He's going to lose a shield on one of his guys right now, guaranteed. We still have the beast going. Becker's Dark Mirror is an interesting play, pretty smart, but he may have held on to that for a little bit too long. I'm not sure what his final goal there was, but again, your cards don't always line up, so he might have just been doing the best he did. But again, look, you can see that Tourney Shalimar just working out great. I think Lubberkin, you want to flip on this last round when he still has a shield out with no show. If it was a closer game, that would give me a guaranteed point instead of a chance at a knockdown of his point. That shield could have protected him. So just trying to show you guys some improved play there. But again, now he did, in my opinion, a really poor decision on first round, right? He had a good show, good cards. He could have at least milked some of my really good cards, forced my hand that way. But instead, he passed at only 7 cards. And I know and he was what we referred to as blue coin. He was the one to go first. And that can really put you at a disadvantage in terms of what your enemy is going to do in response. But I didn't stop his Death Wish Harpy, right? He got that Harpy from Abaya, from that Harpy's egg. And then he got another one because he had Barghest with the Consume. So, I mean, he was like at 22 points. I think we were at 9. And we were showing Heime Scald and Burn a Brand, indicating that we didn't love our hand, right? So we had discarded 3 cards to try to get something better. And we ended up, as you guys saw, we got the Tourney Shalimar, which was great. That was one of our big ads. We got Karathi Heatwave, which was good, and we got one of the Great Oaks. But I would have liked to have the other Great Oak. That would have given us some damage and point flexibility. And then there's a couple other cards I think that probably would have been a little bit better for us. So we did okay, but passing at 7 cards that first hand I think was a poor choice. You really want to win the first round if you can. It gives you so much more flexibility. Winning it on blue coin can suck because you won't have, you'll be down a card, so you can't push on the second round, but you'll still have red coin responsiveness, be able to go second, have final card play on the third round, and that can make a huge difference. I think as we saw with his deck, he had a bunch of, he had Garrison to boost the unit by 10. He had some Vitality boosts, which were really good for him. So he had some good generating engine cards and some big boosting cards that he could use. But because I was responding to him, I kept getting cut down at the knees, and I think that really frustrated him. And I think finally, make sure to use your leader ability wisely. He didn't have King Ragnar to strip those shields, so I'm not 100% sure what he was thinking with those choices. So would have been smarter for him to have waited for me to steal one of his engines in his botchling, which I did, lock it, and not just depend on the one lock he had in Margarita Laurentide. So anyway, just some thoughts on gameplay, how he could improve there, but have some fun with Arena, right? You're not, I think the other benefit, like I said, you're not going to have perfect plays, and you can take some comfort and consolation in that. There is no expectation that you play amazing. You can just fiddle around, play with different cards, and I'll do a video, I'll play some more games. If you want to watch me play more games with this deck for any specific reason, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep playing through, and when we get close, I'll show you the final game and the rewards payout to show you just an example of how Arena can have a good payout for you, a little bit different than the after game rewards you get for winning rounds with crowns in the journey mode. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you'd like to see in further content. But until then, get out there and go Gwent.